This is VOA News. Reporting by remote, I'm Joe Ramsey. Authorities continue to search for survivors after a wing of a 12-story beachfront condo building collapsed outside Miami, Florida on Thursday, killing at least one person and injuring at least 11 others. Nearly 100 people are still unaccounted for. Rescuers pulled out dozens of survivors from the building just hours after the collapse. Authorities did not say what might have caused it. About half the building's roughly 130 units were affected. Some work was being done on the roof of the building, but it's not known if that was a factor in causing part of the building to collapse. A rare tornado struck along the Czech Republic southern border on Thursday evening, destroying parts of some towns as strong storms swept through the area and injured at least 150 people, according to emergency services and media reports. A Czech television meteorologist said the tornado along the Austrian border, well southeast of the capital, Prague, may have reached F3 or F4 levels, with winds hitting up to 267 kilometers per hour. That would make it the strongest in the Central European country's modern history and the first tornado since 2018. Authorities say a fire swept through a martial arts school in central China early Friday, killing 18 people and injuring 16 others, some seriously. The Associated Press reports the fire is out and police detained the person in charge of the school. And workers and residents in Sydney were ordered to stay home for a week on Friday as authorities locked down several central areas of Australia's largest city to contain an outbreak of the highly contagious Delta variant of COVID-19. Find more on these stories and the rest of the day's news at voanews.com or on the VOA mobile app. This is VOA News. U.S. President Joe Biden will meet Afghanistan President Ashraf Ghani and Chief Peacemaker Abdullah Abdullah at the White House on Friday. The first face-to-face interaction between Biden and Afghan officials comes ahead of the withdrawal of the remaining U.S. and NATO forces from Afghanistan by September 11th, in line with Biden's direction to close what he's described as the, quote, forever war. Ghani's aide said he would raise the issue of future ties between the two countries and continued assistance for Afghan security forces. Late Thursday, U.S. officials told the Associated Press that about 650 U.S. troops were likely to remain in Afghanistan as a security detail for diplomats. The foreign military drawdown, which formally started May 1st, has led to an unprecedented escalation in fighting between Afghan security forces and Taliban insurgents, dealing fresh blows to slow-moving U.S.-brokered peace negotiations between the Afghan adversaries. The United States is planning to evacuate a group of vulnerable Afghan interpreters before the U.S. military completes its withdrawal from Afghanistan so they can wrap up their visa applications from safety. U.S. officials said on Thursday the evacuation of the at-risk Afghans would include their family members for a total as many as 50,000 people. President Biden says he's optimistic after reaching a bipartisan infrastructure deal. Following a meeting with Senate Democrats and Republicans, Biden said the bipartisan agreement for infrastructure legislation demonstrates that American democracy can deliver. Money would go to things like roads and highways, broadband, and efforts to tackle climate change. Cast aside for now are other Biden priorities, such as money for childcare. One of the main points of contention has been how to pay for the plan. Biden has advocated raising the corporate tax rate, but Republicans are opposed to that step, having successfully cut the rate during the previous administration of President Donald Trump. U.S. Vice President Kamala Harris will make her first visit on Friday to the U.S.-Mexico border since taking office, following criticism from members of both parties for failing to go earlier despite her role leading the Biden administration's response to a steep increase in migration. So far, she's focused largely on outreach to local leaders and advocacy groups with the goal of improving economic and living conditions in the Central American region. Harris has said her goals is to offer residents of Guatemala, El Salvador, Honduras, and Mexico hope for their future so they no longer feel compelled to leave home for better opportunities. Find more on these stories at voanews.com or on the VOA mobile app. Reporting by remote, I'm Joe Ramsey, VOA News.